I'm Adam.
Why aren't you wearing a shirt?
For the episode.
But nobody can see your boobies from here.
Well, fine, I'll put a shirt on.
I'm Joe, and we're the Maladjusted Misfits.
And this is the one where we talk about friends. I'm caught in my shirt. I'm caught.
All right. We are on episode 13.
Ooh, very
Lucky
unlucky.
Number 13.
Oh, lucky. You're saying lucky.
I guess we should get our story straight.
I was saying unlucky.
And this one's called...
The one with the boobies.
Ooh. Our episode director was Alan Meyerson. A new name.
New name.
Yeah. And guess what? He was born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, my goodness.
He directed 2 episodes of Friends and also directed the Larry Sanders Show.
Yes.
I don't know that one.
That's,
Larry Sanders?
That's, what's his name? Gary Shandling.
Oh, okay. And episodes of Boy Meets World.
Yes.
Yeah, we never watched that.
I don't know that one. I know the other one.
And our writer this episode is, again, Alexa Jung.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote episodes of Why Women Kill, an anthology series that follows 3 women in different decades, all living in the same house.
And did they all kill people?
Yeah.
Oh.
Supposedly.
Supposedly. Supposedly?
Its original air date was?
January 19th, 1995.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know.
All right. Can you tell us what the IMDb
Sure.
I can't say IMDb for some reason.
You have trouble every episode.
I know.
We only use it 5 times a day, every single day.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily.
IMDb.
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 No, IMDb. Joey finds out his dad has a mistress. Rachel tries to even the score after Chandler inadvertently catches a glimpse of her breasts. Phoebe dates a shrink who analyzes the gang. Breasts.
All right. Ready for some trivia?
I am ready.
All right. This is the first mention of Chandler's dad being transgender.
Okay.
So he mentions it in the episode.
Right, he makes a reference at the end.
This is the only episode where Joey's parents are both seen. They're never seen again throughout the series.
Never?
Nope,
Huh.
not once. Huh. She talks to him on the phone, remember, with the wedding invitations? But,
Right.
Yeah, she...
What are they, Irish?
I'm nodding my head.
She's nodding her head because she's Irish, so...
Robert Costanzo, who plays Joey's dad, has 292 acting credits.
Yes, I see him a lot.
Appears in 1 episode of Joey, the spinoff.
That's
He
cute.
plays his dad, yeah. And then Brenda Vaccaro, I told you, I think we talked about this last time. She starred in Midnight Cowboy, Capricorn 1, which I thought was hilarious because it's brought up later.
She can't say hello, but she can say a Capricorn 1.
And both are still going strong with upcoming projects in IMDb.
Oh, that's good.
I know. And this is the first time when it's mentioned Joey usually sleeps without his underwear. This is a running gag throughout the rest of the series.
Yes, a running gag.
A running gag.
As it is in my own life.
All right, tell us what your episode reactions are.
I was conflicted. I'm going to give it a B-.
A B-.
Yes.
Right. They did the work, but not.
Yeah, right.
They didn't show the work.
It wasn't their best work. It was funny.
Okay.
It's enjoyable. There's boobies. There's tit and tat. I like the subsection of Friends in the apartment building. They have an unspoken agreement that they have this little game with seeing each other naked, and that's okay.
Yeah.
They're okay with this little game.
Right.
I kind of like Joey stumbling onto the fact that his parents' lives are more complicated than he would have hoped. Mm-hmm. And I like that Roger kind of stirs the pot, but I don't like how mental health is addressed in this episode.
Right. So mental health professionals are not all like Roger.
Right. They're kind of, again, Paolo, Cosimo thought that Paolo was kind of reflecting a bad light on all Italians.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they're casting a wide net on mental health professionals.
Sure.
And I don't know. That's why I kind of ding the grade a little bit.
I like the Booby storyline. I think it's funny. It's like camp, when you're trying to get back at the boys for tipping your canoe.
Mm-hmm.
You did not like camp, but I did.
Yes, you enjoyed camp quite a bit.
I'm not a fan of the cheating, and everyone is okay with it. It just feels icky.
Well, we can talk about it.
I know. And again, I understand relationships are different, and I'm not judging, but it's just not a fan. I'm not a fan. And Roger is ick, not cute, and he's kind of a jerk. So, favorite line. I really crack up every time Rachel runs in and goes, you were supposed to be in there and I could see your thing. And he goes, sorry, my thing was in there with me. So I really like that line.
See, I kind of had you pegged as Mr. Bing, time to see your thing. I thought that was going to be your favorite. You surprised me a little bit. My favorite line, I'm going to go with Joey is having an embolism, but I'd go for a nip,
That was really funny. My favorite moment is when Joey's mom pushes in the pulled-out couch with barely any effort. She's an epic queen.
Yes. I like the setup of that joke and the payoff.
It's just so funny.
Yeah. My favorite moment is Big Joe in the shower.
Yeah.
That surprise. Hello, dear. He's like...
He goes, apparently we just opened the shower on people. And
Right. I was kind of expecting it.
So weird. All right.
Favorite outfits.
Favorite outfits.
So what was your favorite outfit this week?
It was kind of a tough one. There weren't that many interesting. Monica wore black and white. Rachel's dressed in her restaurant uniform. But I kind of like Phoebe's outfit when she's laying on Roger's lap. Lamenting about her friends. It's green and it does have some brown in it, but I really like her shoes.
Okay.
They're cute and I like her hairdo. She's just cute.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with Rachel's towel. Easy win for me.
Oh my gosh.
She looks adorable in the towel.
I don't think that counts as an outfit, but I'll let it slide.
It's an outfit within the show.
She was wearing it.
She looks very cute when she's all mad and huffing off to her apartment.
Her little run is adorable.
Or her room in the apartment, I mean.
All right. And time for a dramatic line reading.
Ahoy, hoy.
Yes, is this Mr. Stevens? Mr. Fisher Stevens?
Yes, speaking.
Hi, I'm Alex from NBC. We know that you were hoping to become the seventh friend, and that we wanted to let you know that the other cast members took a vote, and that will be a no. So we hope that this isn't too surprising, and we want to know if you had anything that you'd like to say to the other friends at this time.
Well, I'm actually not at all surprised that they feel that way. Actually, it's quite typical behavior when you have this kind of dysfunctional group dynamic, this kind of codependent, emotionally stunted, sitting in your stupid coffee house with your stupid big cups, which I'm sorry, might as well have nipples on them. And you're all like, oh, define me, love me, I need love.
Okay, I'm just going to mark no comment.
All right, we open with a cold open. I guess the cold open opens.
Cold open opens.
In Monica's apartment. It's not Central Park.
It's not Central Park, and there's nobody in there.
I know. It's empty. It looks weird. It sounds weird because it's so quiet.
Right, and they actually put in the New York sounds because they're like, somebody was like, it looks weird.
There's nothing going on. So Chandler walks in. He eats something off the table, and then he goes into the fridge. And then Rachel comes out.
Right, and I like how you can kind of see her in the mirror.
Yeah.
You can see her topless.
Can
you can see her back.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can't see her.
Yeah, boobies.
Her hoo-has.
And then Rachel comes from the bathroom drying her hair as Chandler drops some food. And he sees her naked and jumps a literal foot in the air.
Right. He ducks and jumps at the same time. He takes this huge leap, but he's ducking, and it's really funny.
And then Rachel drops her towels through that and grabs an Afghan.
Right.
And we've all had this tattered Afghan. You
Yes.
had it growing up. I had it growing up. And we never got rid of it.
And it seems like a weird thing to cover up with being naked.
She just grabbed the first thing. And Chandler immediately starts apologizing. I'm sorry.
And she is letting him have, you guys come in here all the time. You fucking steal our food. I have no privacy.
And again, you can see the fourth wall from the same angle.
Right. That's the wall that we usually see through.
Yes. And then Chandler begs so he can say something to
Right,
Rachel.
right.
This is a relatively open weave, and I can still see your nipular area.
I can still see areola action.
And Rachel storms off, and I really like her little scurry. It's
Yeah.
super cute. And Chandler is between embarrassment and, ooh, I got to see
Right.
Rachel's boobies.
Oh, poor lucky Chandler.
And then we cut to Central Perk, Monica, Rachel, and Phoebe, and we are introduced to Roger.
Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Stevens pops up a lot.
Pops up a lot. He was just in Asteroid City.
Oh, yeah. And he's with our girlfriends at the counter. I like that note you put in there. And then Phoebe says, honey, tell about your patient who thinks some things are other things. And he looks at her.
Right.
Like when the phone rings and she takes a shower. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
But you tell it really well, sweetie. I feel that way. I get really excited about some trivia or some movie news that I want to share with you. And I get really excited telling you about it. And I can tell by the look on your face, you already know.
I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I told you that.
Yeah.
Or you already told me that.
Hey, quit it. Early signs of dementia are not funny.
You're a little funny.
And then Phoebe tells Roger to go away so that they can talk about him. And then they pan out, and Chandler and Ross are on the couch. And then she says he's so cute. Like,
sweet and complicated.
yeah, I don't think he's cute. And then she goes, he's a shrink without being too shrinky. But he immediately becomes shrinky. Like,
Right.
in 2 seconds of talking with Chandler, he immediately becomes shrinky.
Right.
And then they ask her if she's going to do it on his couch.
And I kind of like that she's like, I don't know, it's a little weird. It's vinyl. I feel like she kind of messed up the line a little bit.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. Because it's supposed to be a joke that
It's
it's
a
weird
leather, yeah.
because it's a vinyl couch, not because patients are there.
Right. And then Rachel asks, you guys want anything else?
Chandler starts to say something,
But
but
Rachel says, no, we're out of that. Anybody else? And then Roger asks if he missed something. So I think that was really weird. Like, that's when he started being shrinky. Like, if I was
Right.
new in that dynamic situation, I probably wouldn't have said anything.
right.
Probably just would have let it go.
Well, again, they need to, they have 21 minutes
Right? So they have
to establish him being a shrink and get him to be so annoying that she breaks up with him by the
the
end.
end of the
So
episode.
they gotta rush it along.
So Chandler says, she's just mad because I saw her boobies. And then Ross's delivery of this line is so funny. What were you doing seeing her boobies? Like,
Right. Well, when Ross says this kind of stuff, I'm like, how does everybody not know
right.
that he's? Because he sounds so like, I want to see her boobies. Why are you getting to see her boobies?
And Chandler explains, it was an accident. It's not like I was across the street with binoculars and a box of donuts. It is a funny line, but Roger laughs. It's weird. And then Rachel says, can we change the subject?
I thought she wanted the subject brought up. I mean, she made a big deal about not serving Chandler.
Right.
She obviously wanted to talk about it. She wasn't expecting a shrink to be there.
And then Phoebe goes, hello, these are not her boobies, they're her breasts. And I like how she goes, like, points to them.
Yeah.
Like, these are not her boobies. I'm pointing, but you can't see.
Yeah.
So.
I can see your breasts. The pointing helps.
And then Chandler goes, I don't know why you're first, they're very nice boobies.
Nice. And then she says mittens are nice, and mittens are okay. They're not nice.
They're not like boobies.
No.
Which is really funny because later in the series, when she's on that date with Joshua and his parents and her boobs fall out of her nightgown, her negligee, she goes, "It's okay, I have nice boobs."
I got nice boobs. That's like 7 years from now, though.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's like, they're still nice. It reminds me of when you used to get mad when I'd say you were cute. You'd be like, puppies are cute.
I want to be beautiful. And then Chandler does this was like a contender, but it was so, rock, hard place, me.
Right. I was trying to figure out how to call Rachel's boobs a rock and a hard place to kind of, like he's sticking his face in between them.
We got the visual. It's
Yeah.
okay. And then Roger really laughs and says, "You're funny. He's really funny." And Chandler feels good until he says, "I'd hate to be there when the laughter stops." And then why the fuck would you say that other than to be shrinky? Like, why would you say that? Why can't you just end with, "You're really funny"?
That's something that would crack me up if I was sitting like where Ross is. I'd be like, "Oh, somebody's starting to fight." But yeah, I think, like I said, I think this kind of casts, his character kind of casts, therapists or whatever he is in a bad light.
Yeah.
Because again, we spent so much of the previous 12 episodes talking about how Ross needs to be in therapy.
Yes.
And having this kind of guy show up is not helping.
So I always thought it was really weird. I'm going to go off on a little tangent, and you can cut it later if you need to. But I always thought it was weird. Like when you go to a therapist, I thought you go to that therapist. You don't get to choose if you don't like that therapist. Oh. And then I realized that if you don't have a rapport with that therapist, you don't have to go to that therapist. You don't go back. You find another one. So he's just one of those therapists that people will find another one.
Or they'll really like his lack of tact. And
maybe. So Chandler says a really funny line. Wait, back up, Sparky. What did you mean by that?
Sparky. Oh.
It was so funny.
Hey, wait, Gaylord.
Well, it just seems as though maybe you have intimacy issues, that you used humor as a way of keeping people at a distance. I just met you. I don't know you from Adam.
Hey.
Only child, right? Parents divorced before you hit puberty? It's textbook.
Then he eats with his mouth open.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, he chooses cookie and continues talking with his mouth open.
Hey, I have a little sister, and I use humor as a defense mechanism. And
I think everyone does.
Yeah.
Like my first job when I'm not a nurse, but I was studying to be a nurse, and I was sitting with this old lady, and she told me, "You have a very horrible, uncomfortable laugh." And I retorted with, like, what do you say to that? Right. So I think everyone uses humor as a defense. Like,
right.
It's like if you're feeling down, you self-deprecate. You talk bad about yourself, and
it's one of those episodes where, and again, you kind of have to do this with a lot of sitcoms. Mm-hmm. This is a sitcom thing. You kind of have to just kind of roll with the character.
Yeah.
I forget what we were talking about with this before. You just kind of have to go with it because essentially it's just him pointing out to the characters the stuff we as an audience already know.
Right.
And they're kind of having fun with it. Mm-hmm. And, you get to kind of poke at the characters and see what they do. And that's fun.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy Roger from that perspective.
Right.
But when, again, a lot of sitcom things, if you start thinking about it too much.
Right. When you watch it 11 times.
You're like, hey.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think I learn more like focusing and taking notes and digging in. I still love the show. I'm not going to, this has not changed my mind at all.
But again, it's a superficial thing. Right. As long as you're watching it superficially, as long as you don't think, oh my God, if I want to go see a therapist, is he going to be like this?
Right.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
So Joey enters with his dad, who we mentioned is Robert Costanzo.
Mm-hmm.
And you all know my dad. He's in town for a couple days, staying with the kid. And then he points to Roger and goes, I don't know this one.
Right.
And Phoebe goes, this is my friend Roger. And he goes, what happened to the puppet guy? So I think it's funny because in the Be Your Own Windkeeper, do you remember that book that they read? They bring back the puppet guy. They talk about the puppet guy because she says, you totally let him bathe in the pool of something and his puppets.
Oh.
And then Joey Jr. gives Dad a head shake like, don't talk about it.
Oh, excuse me. So Ross, how's the wife?
And then, for two.
I like that he knows them.
Yeah.
And knows things about them,
Yeah,
but he doesn't
cute.
see them often enough.
Right, to keep up with the changes.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of family members when they come over
Yeah,
and you haven't seen them for a year and a half, and you're like, all right, I have to go walk you through this now.
And then this was really funny. Chandler, quick, say something funny.
Yes. And he is too incensed to be helpful.
He is so mad. But doesn't Chandler know this about himself? Doesn't he use humor as a defense mechanism? Doesn't he say that? Or has he not said that at this point?
think it's one thing to know something about yourself,
and then have somebody
another
call you out.
finding out everybody else knows it.
I see.
It's kind of like Rachel in the list later.
Yeah.
When she gets back, because it's like...
She already knows that about herself.
He already knows. Right. And again, this is early in the series. Does he know that?
Right.
After this, he kind of talks about it a lot.
Right. So then we cut to Chandler and Joey's apartment. Joey's senior and junior are there. I like that. Mm-hmm. Senior is on the phone and he goes, I miss you. I love you, but it's getting late. And Joey grabs the phone and says, let me say hi. Hi, Ma. Listen, I made an appointment with Dr. Bazita and... Excuse me? And then he looks at the phone.
Yeah.
It goes... Did you know this isn't Ma?
Right. Which I love LeBlanc in this whole thing. Because he's like, did you know this isn't Ma?
And then he raises his eyebrow.
Yeah. And again, this whole scenario kind of goes to later when the mom's like, your father's no James Bond.
Right.
He
doesn't try and hide that he's talking to his girlfriend.
Right, he's on your couch using your phone, talking to his girlfriend. I think that my dad would have known better
than to try and have a conversation.
than to try and have a conversation with his mistress right in front of me.
And then we cut to Joey cutting up mushrooms.
Yes.
And Senior says, her name is Ronnie. She's a pet mortician.
I'd be like, don't try to humanize her to me. I want to stay mad at this person.
And Joey says, sure. How long have you been chop, 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 chop?
He's like, remember when you were a little kid and I used to take you to the Navy Yard and show you the big ships?
Since then? I love that. I think it's so funny. Like, he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Now, see, I was thinking it's funny that the best memory he could think of is taking him to the shipyards. When he was
6 years old.
To see the big boats. Not we went to Disneyland.
Right. So Senior says, no, it's only been 6 years, but I wanted to put a nice memory in your head so you'd know I wasn't always such a terrible guy. He's still mad. And then Joe Senior asks if he's ever been in love.
I don't know.
Then you haven't. You're burning your tomatoes.
You're one to talk.
Joe, your dad's in love big time, and the worst part, it's with 2 different women.
Come on, tell me at least one of them's Ma.
Of course one of them's Ma. What's the matter with you?
And like this, I'm like, sorry, Big Joe. I mean, you lost all credibility in the past 5 minutes. Nothing is past assumption at this point. Right. I just caught you talking to somebody else other than Mom.
And then Joey offers a taste of his sauce.
So, like, I was thinking about, just the last episode. Paulo was attempting to cheat on Rachel. And now we're into another cheating episode already. And I noticed that in the writings of TV shows, sometimes these themes come up. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that they were like, how are we going to frame it? How are we going to do it? And they're like, somebody was probably like, we could probably frame it in a way like it's okay that he was having an affair. And somebody was like, fuck that, make it Phoebe. And he's assaulting her. And then they're like, we'll do that, but with somebody else.
Right.
So they decided to make it Joey's dad. They're always trying out the same little, because themes like adultery and things have multiple facets that you can. Right. So I just think it's fun that when you're, watching them and analyzing them, you kind of see how one thing kind of leads into another.
Right. You said it's like kidnapping and the Coen brothers.
Yeah. Like, how many Coen brothers movies have kidnappings in them? But ones that are completely different.
Yeah.
There's Raising Arizona and Fargo. And,
yep.
I know there's a couple more.
Oh, The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, exactly.
We could name a couple more if we waited long. All right. So we cut to Monica's apartment. Mm-hmm. Monica, Rachel, Chandler, Joey, and Ross.
Yes.
And Joey, while getting a back rub from Rachel, is like, you woke up one day and you found out your dad was leading a double life. Like he's some spy for the CIA. Although that would be cool. But this blows.
Right. The reality of the pet mortician is this that blows.
Right.
He was like, I wish it was a cooler thing he was hiding.
Right. And then Rachel says, why can't parents just stay parents? Why do they have to become people?
And Chandler is flat out staring at her boobs.
They are at his eye level. And then Rachel goes, why can't you stop staring at my breasts?
What?
I love that. Pause when he's still staring and then realizes what happens. It's the best. Did you not get a good enough look at them the other day?
This whole situation is funny. I love the pause that he does between the what and the what. But if I was staring at somebody's chest like that, it'd be a little creepy, no?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be over there arm smacking you.
What are you doing?
I almost did the whoop. And then Ross goes, we're all adults here. You saw her boobies. So now you have to show her your pee-pee. Everybody Joey nods and the audience applauds and Rachel just smiles.
I don't see that happening.
So Chandler is wearing an Adam outfit. Well, at least the shirt. He has the long sleeve thermal shirt underneath.
Right.
And then the open bowling shirt on top. But Adam would never wear khakis.
No.
Never.
I don't go in for khakis.
And then Rachel, he's right. Tit for tat.
I'm not showing you my tat. I'll show you my tat.
He's showing me his tattoo on his arm. He didn't whip it out.
Spoiler.
And then the intercom buzzes and Monica answers and it's Phoebe and Raj.
Oh, good. Raj is here. I hate that guy. That's the first I hate that guy.
Yes, I hate that guy. So he's a little analytical. He's not that bad.
Smash cut.
To Ross yelling.
Right. I love smash cuts. I'm a big fan of the smash cut. The person going, no, he's fine. And then, hey, you don't know what you're talking about.
That's why you're wrong. Why would I knowingly marry a lesbian?
I don't know. Maybe you wanted your marriage to fail.
Chandler does the cutest drum roll on Ross's back and walks away. And Raj laughs. And Raj is not cute in my favorite guy outfit. My favorite guy outfit is a white t-shirt with a V-neck knit sweater over top of it.
Yes.
And it's my favorite. And he does not look good in it.
All right. Ease up on Fisher.
All right. So then Ross says, why? Why would I? Why?
I lost my place.
Roger says, I don't know. Maybe low self-esteem?
Not it.
Maybe to compensate for overshadowing a sibling?
Whoa, go back to the sibling thing. Well, I don't know. It's conceivable that you blah, 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 blah. Now, I don't think any of his psychobabble is actual psychotherapy.
Psychotherapy, yeah. It's
I
just,
mean, correlation does not equal causation.
it's really speculative.
And it's all
really-
surface.
Yeah.
It's like he just learned, oh, Ross and Monica are brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
He married a lesbian. Maybe, he's just putting, it's like cold readings
Right.
that a psychic would do.
Is like marrying a lesbian or sabotaging your marriage to make your sibling look better a thing? Is that a thing? Do people actually do that consciously and or subconsciously? I just think that's the weirdest thing.
Well, let's go talk to your brother. And... I got her off guard with that one.
All right. Ross says, ta-ha! I don't feel guilty for her failures.
Oh, so you think I'm a failure?
Isn't he good? Phoebe, no.
Again, he's just picking out personality traits and
Right.
stirring the pot.
Right. And then Monica says, all these years, I thought you were on my side, but maybe you were really just sucking up to them so they'd like you better.
Hey, I married a lesbian to make you look good. Almost my favorite line. Pretty awesome.
It is. And then we cut to Rachel in the chair between Roger and Phoebe, and Rachel's crying. You're right. It wasn't just the Weebles, but the Weebles Play Palace and the Weebles Cruise Ship, and had a little lifeboat for the Weebles to wobble in.
That's tough stuff. Come on, Phoebes. We gotta catch a movie.
That's just some cold shit right there.
I want to know what's so cold about the Weebles. I had a Weeble haunted house.
Maybe she didn't get the Weebles, and that's why she was upset.
Oh.
Maybe she was like, I didn't
She
get
was
the
deprived
Weeble
of the
play.
Weebles.
Yeah.
Oh.
They wouldn't, maybe they didn't think Weebles were good enough for her. Phoebe says, feel better, Rach.
Mon, easy on those cookies, okay? Remember, they're food. They're not love.
What a dick. Don't come into my home and tell me how many cookies I can eat. Get the fuck out of here.
And they throw the cookies at the door.
That's my favorite part.
And I was like, they're Fig Newtons. Throw the whole fucking plate. Who cares?
I thought she was making cookies. It looked like she was making cookies.
Well, there's Fig Newtons on the plate. Maybe she stopped because she was so distraught.
And then she says, I hate that guy, but I love the one last cookie throw.
Yes.
All right, scene 4. We're in the building hallway, so they're leaving Monica's apartment. Chandler, Joey, and Ronnie. Ronnie is sitting on the floor in front of the guy's apartment.
Oh, Ronnie.
Chandler goes, oh, look, it's the woman we ordered.
Can we help you?
Oh, no, I'm just waiting for Joey Tribbiani.
I'm Joey Tribbiani.
She gets up. Oh, no, not you, Big Joey. Oh, my God, you're so much cuter than your pictures. I'm Ronnie. And she's played by Lee Garlington. I almost said Garrington. Sorry. She is not the outfit winner of this episode.
Ironic, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, she's got a lot going on there in that outfit.
She does. And
She,
Chandler's just smiling.
She looked like she just walked into the costume room and picked up all the discard stuff out of the box.
This scarf, this coat. And then she says, cheese nip?
And Chandler just kind of enjoying this.
Like dysfunction.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, this has nothing to do with me for once. Joey is having an embolism, but I'd go for a nip, you know.
I do love that line. That was almost my favorite. But you said you would have yelled at your dad.
Well, yeah, she seems like she just showed up to bring his hair.
Right.
Like, they don't want it to seem like
Right.
he invited her over to his son's apartment.
And she knew it was his son's apartment.
Right.
So why did she not assume that that was the other Joey?
Right. I wouldn't have stood there speechless, is all I'm saying. I'd been like, get the fuck out of here.
Then we cut to scene 5, Chandler and Joey's apartment, Chandler, Joey, and Ronnie is explaining her job is a pet mortician.
Right. And I feel like they just picked this job to be amusing.
Yeah.
It's 90s amusing.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know any pet morticians.
right. I know it's a thing that some people do, but...
And then Ronnie says, most people want them sort of laid out like they're sleeping, but occasionally you get your person who wants them in a pose, like chasing their tail, or jumping to catch a frisbee.
If I go first, I want to be looking for my keys.
And so while we were watching this scene, you stopped the DVD and you were like, what are those shelves next to the refrigerator?
So there's all these shelves on the wall.
There's like it looks like a bookcase, like from floor to ceiling bookcase. And it's full of stuff, like pantry items, has plates and cups and everything.
Yeah, we'll have to pay attention to when that disappears.
Yeah, because
it
not
disappears
there.
at some point.
Because that's where Monica busts a hole in the wall.
Yes.
All right, so then Joey Sr. enters and he goes, hey, Dad, Ronnie's here.
No, I'm an accessory, goddammit.
And Senior goes, hey, babe, what are you doing here? Oh, you left your good hair at my apartment, and I figured you'd need it tomorrow for your meeting.
Now, Robert Costanzo pops up every now and then. Not once have I ever seen him with a toupee.
No, me either.
Never once.
He's always had that bald head. Everyone's just a tiny bit uncomfortable. Chandler says, so, who's up for a big game of kerplunk? And this was my runner-up. It totally almost was my favorite line. I love it.
It's pretty funny.
And Ronnie says she should not have come. She'll catch the last train.
Yes, go.
Get that mistress out of my house. And Joey Seniors doesn't like that idea and suggests a hotel. But Joey slams the door and says, no, you won't. You go to a hotel and you'll be doing stuff. And I want you right here where I can keep an eye on you.
You're going to keep an eye on us.
That's right, mister. I'm reframing the old cliche. And I don't care how old you are, as if you live under my roof, you're going to live by my rules. And the audience applauds. Like, it's hilarious.
They love
it.
The flip-flopping of the cliche.
Yes. And because we've all heard that line, and it's super funny to be able to throw it back in their face.
Yes, it is. Super fun.
And that means no sleeping with your girlfriend.
Wow, he's strict.
Dad, you'll be in my room. Ronnie, you can stay in Chandler's room.
Oh, Chandler. Come on, I'll show you my room. That sounds so weird when it's not followed by no thanks. It's late. Oh.
And then Joey lets his dad have it. He says, tomorrow you got to make a change. 6 years is long enough. You either got to break it off with Ronnie or you got to come clean with Ma. And then Big Joe starts to argue.
Right, he starts to argue, but he doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Go to my room.
You do love the switcheroo.
They do love the switcheroos.
I love Joey's acting or Matt LeBlanc's acting in this entire episode. I just think he's really, really good, and just love the way
he's got
delivers.
a lot to do,
Yeah.
and I think it's one of the first time he's comfortable with the stuff they gave him to do.
Yeah, he's really good in this. So then we cut later at night, and Chandler and Joey are sharing the sofa bed, and Joey is flopping around.
Hey, Kiki! It's just so funny. Well, he's kicking so boisterously.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'd have been like, get the fuck on the floor.
I'm trying to sleep, goddammit. Joey's trying to get comfortable. I can't sleep in my underwear.
Well, you gonna.
And again, that starts the long joke of Joey not sleeping in underwear.
Yeah.
So they have a conversation on the couch about how Joey doesn't think he can be
A stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy.
Go the distance.
Go the distance.
And it's like, I personally don't know.
You think Joey's a cheater?
I think Joey would have a hard time.
Settling down.
Settling down. I mean, maybe into his 30s, if he gets married, he won't have a problem. But, like, if he tried to get married the following year, I think he'd have serious troubles.
And then Chandler tells him he thinks when the right woman comes along, he'll be able to say, no thanks, I'm married. And I want to point out that Chandler says that exact line when he's in Tulsa. No thanks, I'm married.
To Selma
Blair.
Yes.
Yes. And then they start to cuddle and he says, get off me. So I like to ask for all those married people, and maybe you can write in and tell us, since the day that Adam and I got married, we have had separate quilts on the bed. We do not share sheets. We do not share blankets. We have separate blankets. Adam likes to cocoon. He likes to wrap himself up like a cocoon, and I do not like my feet covered. So we learned very quickly Then in order to survive, it was separate blankets.
Same bed.
Same
separate,
bed.
Separate blankets.
Separate blankets. We cuddle when we want to, but we have that blanket to wrap up and sleep in.
Right.
So why are these two guys?
Well, these two guys probably don't have a lot of blankets in the house.
Okay. See, we have a lot of blankets.
And their main blankets are already occupied by other people. Again, if I was Chandler, I would have probably bounced from the entire situation and just went and got a hotel room, or else stayed over on Monica's couch.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't like those kind of weird situations anyway.
Right.
If my roommate's dad would show up with his mistress, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to the movies. Bye.
It's bad enough your dad's staying with us. And now the mistress comes over. All right, we're in Monica's apartment. Monica and Rachel. They're sitting at the table when there's a knock at the door. And Monica gets up. And Ronnie is standing there.
I love that Joey said I could use your shower.
Chandler's in ours. Like, that's a normal thing. And Monica goes, okay, who are you?
You're just some random older woman.
And I like how she goes, I'm Ronnie. Ronnie Rapalano, the mistress. Like, the mistress.
I'm the mistress. Ronnie seems nice and weird. She reminds me of the girl at the copy place. Like, just free and weird and comfortable with who she is.
Yeah,
and
she just announces that she's the mistress. Like, that's that's normal information.
Right. No, Chloe is the copy place girl that Ross sleeps with. Like, I love Chloe.
Yeah.
As a character, because she's just she's so fun.
Yeah.
And weird, and like, she gives a little thumbs up from behind the door. That's like Ronnie is like that.
Yeah.
Like, like if the wife showed up, she'd be like, oh, I have to sneak out because I'm supposed to.
Right. So I also want to know, like, where did she get that robe? Where did she get those slippers? And she has a toiletry bag. Does she just, like, walk around with that stuff in her bag? It was
as a mistress, if we have any mistresses, you can write in.
Oh my God! So Rachel shows her where the bathroom is and says, "How long do you say Chandler's been in the shower?" Like 5 minutes. Perfect.
Oh.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's pee-pee time.
Pee-pee time.
And I like Monica's gesture at the door. Like, she, like, bows her out,
yes.
you know?
Okay, you're doing this.
So then we cut to Chandler and Joey's apartment, and Joey Sr. is the only one there, well, that we can see. Rachel.
And he's reading the newspaper, which just made me think of...
When's the last time you picked up a newspaper?
I don't remember the last time I held a newspaper.
No.
I mean, I know that the quality of news has dipped since we've gotten with the internet.
Yeah.
But how many trees are we saving?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember ever holding a newspaper. It's been like a decade.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was just a weird little tangent my mind went off to. So I figured I'd Google it, but I wouldn't trust the sources that I got.
All right, so Rachel says, "Hey, Mr. Tribb, Chandler Bing, it's time to see your thing." And she opens the bathroom door, slides back the curtain to reveal Joey. And she screams. He screams, then Rachel screams.
Yes. And Joey Sr. just looks surprised and confused.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I guess this is what they do.
And Joey runs out with the towel. And he goes, "What's the matter with you? I thought you were Chandler." And Chandler comes out of the bedroom and goes, "Whoa, what?"
You were supposed to be in there so I could see your thing.
I really like Joe Sr.'s face. Like, is this supposed to happen? I'm like, shut up, man. You have affairs, okay?
Right.
Shut up.
We can all get in the shower together. You can't say anything.
Chandler goes, "Sorry, my thing was in there with me." And Rachel's very upset.
I think she knows that this is about to spiral out of control.
Right.
Because she did not get revenge on Chandler, and she saw Joey.
Yeah. So he's going to try and see her for sure. So then we cut to Central Perk. Monica, Rachel, Chandler, and Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe enters and says, "Roger's having a dinner thing and wanted me to invite you guys." They don't seem excited.
No. It's so much so that Phoebe has to ask, "What's going on?"
Right. Well, we hate that guy.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, do You don't think maybe, though, it's just that he's so perceptive that it freaks you out?
No, we hate him.
Again, I'm perceptive. Most people are. But I don't constantly barrage others about their faults for no reason to their face.
I do like how honest they are with each other. Even though it hurts Phoebe and they apologize, like, we're not going to pretend to like someone for you. Like, we're
Right.
just not going to do that. So, and then Rachel's wearing that jean halter top again.
Right? I think it's a waitress thing. I think it's her top apron.
Okay.
Because she has the little bottom apron.
Yeah.
I think she wears it so if she spills coffee
Yeah, because she's wearing a white t-shirt and I would definitely be covered in coffee.
Yeah, so I think it's a denim aprony thing that she likes to wear to the coffee house.
All right. I'll forgive her. And then we cut to Chandler and Joey's apartment, and Joey's there, and he's trying to push the sofa bed back into the sofa.
Now he's setting up your favorite moment. And I like joke setups like this because he's doing it, but like coming back from commercial doing it.
Right.
You know,
right.
like, I'm just trying to get this in, and
Right.
he's not overplaying it, but he's setting it up
Right.
for when she comes in. And I like that it's a little subtle joke setup.
It's super cute. He knocks on the door, and it's his mom, and she goes, "Ma, what are you doing here?"
I came to give you this and this.
And smacks him upside. Oh, big ring.
Oh.
Why did you have to fill your father's head with all that garbage about making things right? Things were fine the way they were. There's chicken in there. Put it away. As she's ranting, she walks over and pushes the sofa in like it's nothing. I love it.
Joke is paid off.
Of course I knew. Your father is no James Bond. You should have heard some of his cover stories. I'm sleeping over at my accountant's. I mean, what is that?
Now, how can't you, at that point, as a wife, just go, what the fuck? I know you're having an affair. Keep it to just her, and we're fine. I don't
Right.
want to talk about it. Fucking accountant.
Joey says, I don't understand how you knew and you weren't mad about it. And she goes, do you remember how your father used to be always yelling? Nothing made him happy. Nothing made him happy. Not the wood shop, not the stupid little ships in the bottle. And you said you didn't think Joey Sr. looked like a ship in the bottle.
No, he doesn't look like a... I think he's trying the wrong hobbies, for one thing. I mean,
Maybe
there's
that's his problem.
ship in the bottles are a specific type of person.
Right. And if you're angry and yelling, that's not the type of thing you want to be working on.
No.
And now he has a hobby. He's happy. Yeah, no. That's not a hobby. That's gross.
Kind of hobbies.
You gotta cut that.
Meh, I kind of will.
And then, Ma, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but what the hell are you talking about? What about you? He goes, I'm fine. Look, honey, in an ideal world, there'd be no her, and your father would look like Sting. And they have this, like, little thing with Sting going on, because they mention Sting, and so more useless trivia. The Police song, Don't Stand, is played during the VD montage.
Right.
And later, Truly Styler, Sting's wife, plays herself in a later episode. And I looked it up, and Sting was actually supposed to be on that episode, but he couldn't. They couldn't get the timing to work. He actually was in concert, so Trudy said she would do it.
Oh, in the later episode.
Yeah.
I thought you meant this episode.
No.
I was like, who the hell is Sting supposed to be? That would be weird if Sting was Joey's dad, and she was like, he's no Sting.
She would, do you need me to go back and fix it, or is that okay?
No, that's fine.
Right.
We'll just leave that whole thing in there. It's funny.
All right.
We'll just leave that whole thing in there. But yeah, this is the point where I start to get a little muddled in what they're trying to put across in the episode. Because it's one thing for him to be having an affair, but then for her to be like, come over and yell at Joey?
Yeah.
Like, I was okay with it.
I was fine, and then you meddled.
This is a weird conversation to be having with your kid.
Yeah. I do like the line where she goes, ever since that poodle stuffer, and she waggles her fingers.
Right.
I just really like that. Poodle stuffer.
Right.
He's been so ashamed of himself. He's been more attentive. He's been more loving. It's like every day is our anniversary. What?
I'm happy for you. Given the weakness of his deception, you think she might have warned the family.
Yeah.
I want to see all the Tribbiani sisters finding out about the situation.
I mean, they punched Chandler because he couldn't
Right.
remember what sister he kissed.
Right. Cookie would have beat this fucking guy's ass. The poodle stuffer was found stuffed somewhere.
Well, don't be. I mean, because now everything's screwed up, and I just want it the way it was. And Joey is really sincere. He's like, I just thought I was doing what was right.
Right.
What I thought you would want. And then she asks if he saw the poodle stuffer.
Yes. And you're 10 times prettier than she is.
Oh, that's sweet. Could I take her?
With this ring, no contest.
So sweet, but so weird.
So weird. So, like, I'm thinking, like, okay. Did Mrs. Tribbiani have the 7 kids? And then it was like, okay, don't fucking touch me anymore. I'm closed for business.
Maybe.
And maybe that's why she's okay
Yeah.
with it.
She's
She's like, nope. Do whatever you have to do.
You can support my family and our children, but don't touch me anymore. Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't know why this situation is okay.
I don't know either. It's so weird. And I remember watching it the first time and not even thinking about it. Not even thinking about it. Like, just watched the episode and laughed my ass off. And now that I'm, like, deep diving into it, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? All right.
I mean, at the end of the day, they just have an open marriage.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
And
those are fine.
yeah, if
That's
it
it.
works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is just, these are weird conversations to be having with their child.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So then we cut to Central Perk. There's Phoebe and Roger. And he asks her, what's wrong, sweetie?
She's like, nothing.
And then he pats his leg.
Yes, which this boyfriend-girlfriend perversion of therapy, I don't like. I'm not into
Yeah,
this.
It's creepy. My friends have a liking problem with you. And that they don't. And then he goes, And she goes, but they don't see all the good stuff and the sweet stuff. They think you're a little intense and creepy.
Right. I can be intense and creepy. Like you said about Chandler. He should know he's intense and creepy.
Yeah. Like, he just met them and he's already telling them about, like, you married a lesbian for your sister? What?
Right. And again, he gets Rachel all
Crying.
crying and then goes, we're late for the movie. Gotta go. I mean, he goes on this little rant.
Like, about
Yeah.
codependency and dynamic relationships and
Right.
big cups with
He-
nipples.
He's trying to give the group, the shotgun treatment with
Yeah.
both barrels. But it just comes out like, oh, Raj.
You need therapy.
Yeah. You need to see somebody other than you.
Then we cut to Monica's apartment. Monica, Rachel, Chandler, Joey, and Ross. And they're all eating pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And Monica says to Joey, so you talked to your dad, huh?
Yeah. He's going to keep cheating on my ma. She's going to keep pretending she doesn't know, even though she does. And then my sister can't see her husband anymore because she got a restraining order, which I think is a fun little thing to add.
It has nothing to do with anything except I found out that today. And then Chandler says, things sure have changed here on Walton's Mountain. Man, I love the Waltons. I used to watch that all the time.
You and me both.
No, you didn't.
No.
So, Ross says, Joe, are you okay? Yeah, they're parents. After a certain point, you gotta let it go. Even if you know better, you gotta let them make their own mistakes. Again, the switcheroo.
Right. And again, this is probably the whole point of
Right.
the mess.
Right.
So they can do the switcheroo
Right.
and have Joey be like, you gotta let them do what they're gonna do.
I'll bail them out later. And then Rachel says, just think, in a couple more years, we get to turn into them.
Yeah, if I turn into my parents, I'll either be an alcoholic blonde chasing after 20-year-old boys or I'll end up like my mom.
Joey's face in this scene looks like he doesn't know what's going on. I don't think they've had the conversation yet about Chandler's dad.
That's like when we got married, my best man.
Yeah.
I was like, when we were getting ready to walk down the aisle, I was like, remember I told you my grandpa's gay? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that's his boyfriend playing the piano. And he was like, And I was like, and we walk.
So enter Phoebes. She broke up with Roger. They express mild sympathy noises.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, right. And then they ask what happened.
No. We're worried about you, though.
Well, he's a good person, and he can be really sweet. And in some ways, I think he's right. So right for me. It's just, I hate that guy.
So I feel like at this point, the writers are starting to settle into their habit of the boyfriends and girlfriends of our main characters on the show, kind of starting off normal.
Yeah.
And then taking a super weird turn.
Yes.
This is kind of where it starts. Because
Yep.
up till now, they kind of, Janice, didn't know a lot about Janice at first. And I think they kind of get into, later seasons, they're really into the swing of,
Right.
look, I'm dating this person. And oh, fuck, you just shot something from the bedroom.
All right. And then the tag is in Monica's apartment. Phoebe is sitting at the kitchen table drinking some tea, and Joey comes in. Clear the tracks for the Boobie Payback Express.
Oh, yes.
Next stop, Rachel Green. And Phoebe just lets it go.
Right.
She just
Again,
lets it play out.
They have an agreement.
Yeah.
The friends in the building are allowed to do this with each other.
And then Joey goes into the bathroom and screams occur, and Monica runs out with a huge towel.
Right. Joey, what the hell are you doing?
Sorry, wrong boobies.
He gives her kind of like an eyebrow. And I think it would have been funny if when Rachel saw Joey, if she would have been like, I was supposed to see your thing. Instead, I saw Joey's thing.
So we cut to Chandler and Joey's apartment. This is an extra long tag.
Yes.
Monica sneaks in. No one's around. The shower's running. She sneaks into the bathroom, opens the door, draws back the shower curtain. Hello, Joey.
Hello, dear.
I think she stands there way too long for my taste. I would have been like, ah!
Hurry back.
And she runs away.
Presumably emotionally scarred enough to stop the game of tit and tat for good.
Yes. And that's the end of the episode.
Cut and print.
Woohoo! Hey, Kiki, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to get comfortable. I can't sleep in my underwear.
Well, you're gonna.
I've been thinking, about how I'm always seeing girls on top of girls.
Are they end to end or tall like pancakes?
You know what I mean, about how I'm always going out with all these women. I always figured when the right one comes along, I'd be a stand-up guy and go the distance, Now I'm looking at my dad and I'm thinking,
Hey, you're not him. You're you. When they were all over you to go into your father's pipe fitting business, did you cave?
no.
No, you decided to go into the out-of-work actor business. And that wasn't easy, but you did it. And I'd like to believe that when the right woman comes along, you'll have the guts and the courage to say, no thanks, I'm married.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I really do.
Thanks, Chandler.
Get off.
Hey.
All right, what did we learn from this episode?
Joe, what did you learn?
Getting a mistress makes you better at your long-term marriage? Question mark?
I'll have to see.
Hey. I don't like that joke. Therapists are just as messed up as the people they try and diagnose. And I don't think we played enough tit for tat.
No, there should have been more tit for tat in the episode.
What did you learn?
I learned that people kind of like living in ignorance. I think Mrs. Tribb would have gladly been hooked back up to the Matrix, no problem.
Yeah.
Picking on psychiatrists and psychologists was fun in the day, but if you feel like you need to talk with someone, don't let Raj fucking stop you, okay?
Yep.
If you need some help, go find some help.
That's right.
And don't try and peek on your friends naked, or you'll end up seeing someone you don't want to see naked. Like me.
I want to see you naked.
Nobody else wants to see me.
All
Hello,
right.
dear.
Themes explored in this episode.
Dealing with over-analytical people.
Okay.
Affairs. Sometimes they work.
Yep.
I mean, that's this week's, we'll cover affairs every now and then
Right.
throughout the series, but today they're about sometimes they work. Parents are people too, and tit for tat. It's hard to accidentally see somebody naked.
All right, what were your final episode thoughts?
Well, I spoiled my final thought earlier, but when Joey's sister Cookie finds out about the affair, she might beat up her dad, and Ronnie's life could be in danger.
That's right. She could be going back to prison.
Yeah.
I think it was a fun episode. Mixed messages about cheating, like Paolo versus Joey Sr., but it was funny. There was some funny stuff. And again, I watched it in 1995 and never thought once about it. All right, sweater vest tracker.
Zip, not a Ling.
Ling?
Ling's Chinese. I looked it up.
Oh, no sweater vest.
No.
Oh my God.
The over account holds at 12.
Right?
Come on, Big Ling, you can do it.
Let's see a sweater vest.
Let's get us back up to the episode count at least.
I know. All right,
So
next
sad.
week.
Next week, the one with the candy hearts. It's Valentine's Day. Carol, Susan, Janice, and a gaggle of firemen.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to leave your thoughts or reactions regarding future episodes to be shared with the rest of the class, or if you just want to reach out and say hey, make sure to email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com.
Come on, we want to share your thoughts.
That's right. Rate us and leave positive comments. And if you have any negative comments, leave them in a positive way. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Joe, you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always. There's only one way to resolve this. Since you saw her boobies, I think you're going to have to show her your pee-pee.